Right, so we've got Martin a farmer, and this is field, and we've got some lengths around the field. He wants to put a fence around the perimeter, so the perimeter is the distance around the outside of something. He needs to leave 3 meters for a gate, and he has 500 meter fencing. We need to say if it is enough. So the first thing we need to do is say, do we know all the lengths? No, we do not know this one here, but we do know that if we take the total, which is 147, we take away 107, it's going to give us 40 meters. And I'm going to put that here. And the next thing we're going to do is add all of these lengths together to find the perimeter. So 4 plus 40 plus 5. So we add all those together, all of these lengths, the total perimeter is 491 meters. The last thing we need to say is he needs to leave 3 meters gap for a gate. So 491, take away 3, it's going to give us 488 meters. That's the amount of fencing he needs. He has 500 meters. Is this enough? Yes. So the second part of this question, he finds out he can keep 6 sheep per acre, and also know how many sheep you can keep in this field. Also tells us that 1 acre is 4,050 meters squared. Because as soon as we see meters squared, we know that it is an area question. So first we're going to need to do is find the area of this shape. It's a compound shape, so we're going to need to split it into 2 parts. I think one way of doing this is to split it along here. So I've got this rectangle and this rectangle. So I'm going to work out the area of each and then add them together. For finding the area, I'm going to multiply. So here I'm going to do 147 multiplied by 54.5. 147 times 54.5, which is going to give me 8,011.5. And here, 44 times 107. Which is 407, 4708. Then for the total, I'm just going to add both of those together. So 8,011.5 plus 4708. Just going to give me 12,719.5. And that is meters squared. So this is in meters squared. I want to find out what it is in acres. So I'm going to do 12,719.5 divided by 4,050. Which is going to give me 3.14. Then it's going to give me a list of other numbers. So for now, I'm just going to leave it rounded to 2 decimal places, so 3.14. So that is the number of acres. Up here it says I can keep 6 sheep per acre on this field. So the last thing to do is say 3.14 multiplied by 6. That's going to give me 18.84. And that is the number of sheep. I also just think about this in a physical sense. So I can't have 18 and then a 0.84 of a sheep. So in total, the most amount of sheep you can have is 18 sheep. And that's my final answer. So next question is about sheep, and he's got 54 ewes, so 54 sheep. And I'm using 2 milliliters of wormer for each 10 kilograms of body weight. And it's got 1 bottle, and that contains 0.25 liters. The first thing I do is just convert that into milliliters, so working in what's given us, which is milliliters. So we multiply that by 1,000. That's 250 milliliters. It says the average body weight is 23 kilograms. Does he have enough 54 ewes? So I'm going to do 54 times by the average body weight, which is 23. So he has got in total 1,242 kilograms of sheep. It then says that for every 10 kilogram of body weight, he needs 2 milliliters. So I'm going to divide that by 10. It's going to give me 124.2. And for each of these, he needs 2 milliliters. So 124.2 times by 2 milliliters. It's going to give me 248.4 milliliters. So that's the amount he needs. He's got 250 milliliters. So does he have enough? Yes. Next question. He's got some lambs that he's weighing, and he wants to find out about the mean average, but that is for the gain for each day. So how much the weight increases by each day. So has this lamb gained or increased by a mean average of 250 grams of weight per day? So we're not just looking at these values and then finding the mean average of those. First thing we have to do is find the difference between each day and then find a mean average from that. So between 1 and 2, this is day 1 and 2, the difference is 4.79, take away 4.56, which is going to give me 0.23. And then between 2 and 3, got 5.04, take away 4.79. So the difference is 0.25. Then between 3 and 4, I've got 5.31, take away 5.04, it's 0.27. And then 4 and 5, 5.49, take away 5.31. So that difference is only 0.18. And then between day 5 and 6, 5.80, take away 5.49. So that is a difference of 0.31. So now we've got the amount of weight that the sheep gained each day. We need to find the mean average of these values. And the way we find the mean average is by adding all of these together and dividing by how many there are. So we're going to do 0.23 plus 0.25 plus 0.27 plus 0.18 plus 0.31. And then we're going to divide all of that by how many there are. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divided by 5. if we work that out by typing it into a calculator, so we work it all out, and it's going to give us 0.248. And we've been working in kilograms. So in grams, that would be 248 grams. So we just multiplied it by 1,000. The question asks us, does the sheep gain a mean average of 250 grams of weight per day? And we've said it was 248, so we need to say no. All right, so the next question is a table question, and it's really not a very nice question. I've drawn the table quite messily down here. So there's a lot of information here. First thing, we need to look at their level, and that tells us if they can play they can referee senior or junior or both. And then we've got the days they are available here. And then we need to say how many more referees he needs for each day. I'm going to draw a table. And the other piece of information is each referee can only run one match per day. So I've got a table here. I've got their name, so I've just abbreviated. So I've got M, C, P, and Z, which is just for Mo, Chris, Paul, and Zaf. And then I said, can they work Saturday? And then I've looked at each one, and if they can, I've ticked it. So they're all available on Saturday. And then I've looked at Sunday. Chris and Paul can't do it. And I've looked at their levels. So I've gone back up to this little piece of information here. And I've ticked for junior and senior. Just to double back, that's Saturday and Sunday. And then the junior senior I've ticked depending on their refereeing level. So this is fine for the table. You could have done this in loads of different ways. As long as you're showing the information that they want you to, that's fine. Then for the last bit of the question, we need to go back to these two questions. So on Saturday, he needs 2 junior referees and 3 senior referees. So let's look. All of these guys can work on Saturday, and Paul and Zaf, they can both do a junior game. So we've got our 2 junior referees. And then Mo and Chris, they can do 2 senior referees. So we've got 2 senior referees. So you need 1 senior ref, 1 senior referee. So on Saturday, he needs 1 senior. On Sunday, he's going to need a little bit more help because he's only got 2 refs, Mo and Zaf, who can work on Sunday. So he needs 2 junior referees and 3 senior referees. So let's say if we look at Zaf, he can just do junior. So we've got 1 junior. And then if we look at Mo, he can do junior or senior. So let's say he can do 1 senior. So he's going to need 1 more junior ref to make up to 2, and then 2 more senior refs to make up to 3. So he needs 1 junior and 2 senior. So for all this question, we need this table, and then we need Saturday he needs 1 senior ref, and on Sunday he needs 1 junior referee and 2 senior referees. This, again, it could be slightly different depending on if you ask Mo to ref junior, for instance, on Sunday. So there's lots of different answers to these questions. As long as we're drawing a table and we are looking back at our table to give the answers to these, we should be okay. Right, so next question, Jason is updating the league table. So here's the league table before. It tells us information about how many points you get if you win, draw, or lose. It says goal difference is equal to goals for, takeaway goals against. And there was 2 matches. So we're going to use this information to update the table. For your actual question, you were asked to update the table down here. I'm just going to work on it up here. I'm going to cross out the old numbers and show you what they've changed to. On the actual exam, you'd have to just copy it into the table down here. So if we work through matches 1. So teams that won, Manchester and Seaton. So it's not 1 anymore. It goes up by 1. It's going to be 2. And Seaton goes up by 1. It's going to become 2. Matches drawn. Neither of these were draws, so we're going to leave that. Matches lost. Coppice lost, so that's going to go up to 2. And Northway lost, so that's going to go up to 2. Right, now goals for, how many goals did they score? So Lanchester, it's going to go up by 3. So I'm going to add 3 to 5. I've got 8 there. Coppice, they scored 1, so that's going to go up to 5. Seaton scored 2, so that's going to go up to 7. And Northway scored 1, so that's going to go up to 6. Next one, I say goals against. So how many goals were against them? So Lanchester, they had 1 goal against. So that goes up to 5. Coppice had 3 goals against them. So that goes up to 7. Seaton had 1 goal against them. So 6. And then Northway had 2 goals against them. So this is the amount of goals the other team scored. So the goal difference says down here is just goals for, take away goals against. So now it's 8, take away 5. It's going to give me 3. 5, take away 7. It's going to change to -2. I've got 7, take away 6. So this is going to change to 1. And then 6, take away 9. This is going to go down to -3. The last thing I have to do is look at the points. So Lanchester won. So they're going to get an extra 3 points. So now they're going to have 7 points. And Seaton won. So now they're going to have 6 points. You would then need to copy that into all of that information into the table down here. I'm not going to do that. The only thing that you would need to think about there is because Seaton now have more points than Coppice, Seaton would be above Coppice in the table. So that's the only other thing you need to do. So question 5, we're working with the formula. So we've got a formula here. C is the total cost, T is the number of tickets sold, and H is the hourly rate of pay for the stewards. So 1,500 tickets were sold, so T is equal to 1,500. And his budget is £200. So C is equal to £200. And we want to work out the maximum hourly rate. So he wants to pay them as much as he possibly can. So we want to work out H. So we're going to have to do a little bit of working backwards here. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to replace the letters with the numbers. So T, 1,500, I'm going to put here, and C, 200, I'm going to put there. So 200 is equal to 1,500 divided by 250 times by 3.5H. So what we could do now is start thinking about rearranging. But there is a slightly easier way of doing this, where we just work out this calculation with the numbers we do know, and then we work backwards. So I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to say, what is, if I work out 1,500 divided by 250, that's going to give me 6. So all of this just equals 6. So I can say 200 is equal to 6 times by 3.5H. And 6 times 3.5 is 21. So once I've worked all of this out, it's just going to become 200 is equal to 21H, 21 times H. And I can say that the opposite of multiplying it by 21 would be dividing it by 21. So from there, I can say h, the hourly rate, is equal to 200 divided by 21. If I work that out, it gives me 9.5238. But I want it as money because it's an hourly rate, so I need to round it to 2 decimal places. So it's just going to be £9.52. All right, so next question is a speed, distance, time question. So speed, distance, time. And this is my triangle. Remember, if I want to find the distance, I just cover it up. So distance would be speed times time, and I can do that for each one. So here, I'm given the distance, d, and I'm given the speed, s, and I want to find the time. So if I cover up the time, I'm going to do distance divided by speed. So the distance, 40, divided by the speed, 30. And that's going to tell me the time. So if I work that out, 40 divided by 30, it's going to give me 1.3 recurring. So that's 1.333333. And then that's 1.33333 hours. So I can times that by 60. It's going to be 80 minutes. Or I could write that as 1 hour and 20 minutes. So his meeting starts at 1 o'clock and he wants to arrive 20 minutes before that. So 20 minutes before 1 o'clock is 12:40. If he wants to get to where he's going at 12:40, he has to leave an hour and 20 minutes before. So if I take away an hour, I'm going to get to 11. Take away 20, and we get to 11:20. So he needs to live at 11:20, and that's AM. Question 6, we're working on percentages. And a friend wants to buy £135 of hair products. So you've got two options, option 1 and option 2. So option 1, sell the hair products and get a 24% commission. So I want to find 24% of 135. So I could say 24% as a multiplier, just divide it by 100, it's 0.24. And then do 0.24 times by 135. If I type that into my calculator, it's 32. It's going to come up as 332.4. Remember, it's money, so I'm going to put a pound sign and a 0 at the end. So if she does option 1, she's going to receive £32.40. For option 2, she's going to get £25 plus 8% commission. So first I'm going to find the 8%. It's the same process. 8% divided by 100 gives 0.08. 0.08. Multiply that by 135. So that's 10.8 or £10.80. And then she also gets £25, so plus £25. So in total, for option 2, she would get £35 and 80 pence. So she thinks she'll make more money. She chooses option 2. Is she correct? Yes. So next question, we are planning a route for Emma. She's going to start at her home, finish at her home, and she needs to deliver to 4 of her agents. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This question, you could choose any route you wanted to do this. It doesn't actually ask for the shortest route or anything. So as long as you have chosen a route that goes via each person, then you add together the distances, you'd get the first 2 marks. The very last bit says, evaluate your route. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment. So just as an example, one way you might do this is say, I'm going to start at home, and then I'm going to go to Kathy's. I'm going to go all the way up to Mia, and then to Joe, then to Farida, and then to home again. So that is my route, and then I will just take each of the distances. So I've got 2 2/3 plus 9 plus this route here is plus 8.5, and then plus 5 1/3, and then plus 3.5. I added all of that together. 29 miles in total. So this is just one of the possible routes you could have taken. So that would get you 2 marks. Last part says evaluate your route. So all you have to do when it says evaluate is write some comment about your route. So you could say, for instance, my route goes to each of the agents once. And that would be fine. That would give you a mark. So just any comment about the route you have made. Just to show you the mark scheme. So there's 3 marks up for grabs. The first one, just for making an addition with fractional decimals. And then here is some examples of the routes you could have taken. So all of these were fine. And then you just have to write a comment. So one would be, I visit each agent once. I think it's the shortest even. I don't have to backtrack. You could also say my route visits all the agents, but it may not be the shortest. So you just write anything about your route. So the next question is a graph question. I'm not going to draw the actual graph. I've drawn a very bad sketch of what the kind of graph you might draw. So where I've got the 2 different colors, I would have one for Mia and one for Joe, and I do them next to each other for each month. That way it's quite easy to make a comparison. Other things we need to remember are that the scale is linear, so the scale goes up in the same amount for each square, and then that we've labeled it. So we'd have months and then money. I would have to say here money in pounds as well. So you get 3 marks for that. And then we need to write a comment about their sales. And this is 2 marks. So it also needs to compare their sales. So my graph here doesn't actually take into account these values. But just by looking at the values, or looking at the graph you've drawn, you could say that since overall, you could say Joe makes more money in January and February and April, but Mia makes more in March. So anything that compares the amounts for all of the points. Again, looking at the mark scheme, they've also said, we're looking at these parts here. Mia is consistently improving, but Joe's sales fluctuates. That means that they change. Or overall, Joe sold more than Mia in the 4 months. Anything that compares all of the points, all of the months for Mia and all of the months for Joe. So last question, I've already filled in part of it. She's going to buy some hair products to sell to customers. So she's got 3 products, cost price, and the RRP, which is the recommended retail price. She wants to spend £50, and she wants to find what's the maximum profit she can make. And then there's a check as well. So the profit I've just got another column for it here, and I've done it for each one. It's just the RRP, what she's going to sell it for, take away the cost price. So here, $7.99, take away $6.50. The profit on the styling wax is $1.49. It's also $1.49 for the curling cream, but it's a little bit less. Is 99p for the super hold spray. So we want to find, if she spends up to £50, what's the most profit that she can make? So what is the most profitable product? Well, these two, the profit is the same. But if she's only spending 50 quid, we want to find the one she can sell the most times. So the one that's cheaper at cost price. So that's going to be the curling cream. So we want to say, how many times can she buy the curling cream so that she can sell it for a profit of $1.49 each time? So if we say it's 50 quid, we know she can't do it 10 times because 5 times 10 is 50 quid. So we're going to see if she can do it 9 times. So we can do £5.50 times 9. So she'd be spending £49.50. That's if she buys the curling cream 9 times, and once she's sold all of that, she's going to make $1.49 profit each time. So $1.49 times by 9 times, which is going to give you £13.40. So the maximum profit she can make is £13.41. There is also a check here, all the way down here, which is worth for 1 mark. For your check, you just want to do the reverse of the calculation of what you've done up here. So just that, but backwards.